Hello everybody, I am Cerberus Call, and what I've decided to do today is bring you a little bit of info on stealth mechs. So looking through YouTube, I noticed that there is a distinct lack of information out there on stealth mechs and what a stealth mech can do and what it can't do. So let's take a little bit of time and talk about what is a stealth mech. A stealth mech is a inner sphere mech that is capable of holding an ECM. The ECM allows it to fit stealth armor. Now here I'll show you in the mech lab. So the stealth armor is an option that you can select here under the armor upgrades. You have standard ferrofibers, light ferrofibers, and stealth. Now what stealth does is stealth masks your radar signature, masks your heat signature, and it makes you invisible to sensors even within that 200-meter bubble that the Guardian ECM provides for you. So what that does is essentially it makes you only able to be seen in visual range. Now you may think like, okay, well I'll just switch over to thermals. Still difficult to see because it helps mask your heat signature. Now, what's the expense of that? The expense is a constant heat generation of 1.5 heat per second when you have your stealth armor on. So what that means is you have to make sure that your heat management over here is right around 1.5 or better. Because what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to fire your weapons and dissipate heat while you're fighting. Now a caveat to that is making sure that your heat is not going to exceed the capability of your stealth armor, or else you're going to spend the whole game flipping stealth on, flipping stealth off, flipping stealth on, flipping stealth off. This will allow you to essentially run around the map and be the most annoying mech on the field, which is really what I will be showing you today. So this is my PHX-2. It is probably one of my favorite stealth mechs. Now, other stealth mechs for the inner sphere, you have the Spider, the Flea, the Enforcer Ghillie, the Cicada. In the heavy range, you have the Thanatos. You have the Atlas, and there are probably a few others that I'm forgetting in there, but you get the idea. There's a wide variety of mechs out there that can run stealth armor. What I have noticed in the games is that most people run stealth armor wrong. They treat it as or at least this is my opinion, they treat it as something that to be turned on and off. For me, I look at stealth armor as something that I want to be able to have on the entire game so that I can run around and be free to attack, engage, and disengage at my leisure. So, just to give you guys an idea of what this all looks like, so let's go into the testing grounds and I'll show you exactly what it does. So again, we're using my PHX-2, the build 45, 2 jump jets, 4 double heat sinks, including the 3 that are already in the engine, and 6 small pulse lasers. The pulse lasers allow me to have a very, very easily manageable heat. So here, let me show you. So here's us in normal mode. I'm going to pull out to about 300 meters and engage stealth. So we're at 257 meters. Turn stealth on, the commando disappears. As we get closer, you'll see that meter drop down 245, 216. 200 meters. Allows me to see the mech that I'm targeting. Now, downside about stealth. As soon as you lose line of sight, you lose that target. So you can't keep, if you're going to be circling a mech, you can't keep a lock on that target. But it has its advantages. You can see what their weak points are as usual. They can't see what yours are because no matter how hard they try, unless they have one of 2 things that are going to turn your stealth off. Tag will penetrate stealth armor, and a PPC. Now, PPCs, only the ER-PPC, the snub nose, and the snub nose can fire within 90 meters. All the other PPCs, the heavy, the light, and the regular PPC, will not turn off your stealth armor inside of 90 meters if they hit you. The reason it turns off your stealth armor is because it disrupts your ECM. Your ECM gets knocked out, your stealth armor no longer works. So if you're in a fight, you start taking hits to the torso where your ECM is mounted, and that ECM gets knocked out, your stealth armor is done for the rest of the game. There's no getting it back. Alright, well, let's get into a game. Alright. Let the shenanigans begin. Also, remember to turn your stealth armor on. As a new stealth pilot, it does take some getting used to. I have mine remapped to Q so that it can be easily turned on and off if I need to. I'm going to try and loop around behind them and drop some artillery on them before I run in and harass them and try and pull a few off of their front lines.
Just don't die doing it.
I usually live pretty long. I'm in a Phoenix Hawk running at 130.
Not right. If you have it.
Running stealth mech is definitely feast and famine. It's either really good for you or really bad. So when you're making your initial moves, if you run into a group of lights, they can chew you up relatively quickly because, well, you're a mech out on your own. You guys can feed me data on what grid they're in. That'll help me a lot because with stealth armor I can't see garbage. Thank you. Alright, so they are way across the map from me. So let's check.
G8 is not a good spot.
One nice thing about taking the long way around is it can get you into a pretty good firing position for your artillery. So I'm going to hop around J7, come in through I7, between the I7 and H7 hills.
Target spotted. The Warhammer's ready to pop.
They've rotated.
Let's push for here.
Airstrike activated.
Target spotted.
Artillery strike online.
Target spotted.
That's right, Urban Mech, chase me.
Artillery strike.
And someone just hit me with a PPC. That Marauder turned off my armor, so that made it difficult.
Target acquired. Artillery strike.
Got a Marauder. Definitely.
Damage.
Stalker.
Marauder's leg.
Alright, heat's getting a little hot, but there's only 3 of them left, so. Turn that off. There they are.
Center torso Centurion.
Now that we're close enough, we can turn our stealth armor back on and
Last one.
there we go. And that is how you run, in my opinion, a good stealth medium mech. So let's see how it finished out. 463 damage, 18 damage, which isn't too bad. 1 kill, 6 assists, 1 KMDD, and several bonuses. We made 279,000 C-bills, and let's just finish this up by taking a look at the build. And hopefully this has been helpful. I'll also go through my Fleet 20 and show you guys that one as well before we close out. So let's revisit this. This is Heartbreaker, my Phoenix Hawk 2, 6 small pulse lasers, 2 jump jets, 4 heat sinks with an XL 340 engine and the Guardian ECM. Stealth armor, double heat sinks, and endo steel. Brings us to 45 with full armor throughout the mech. For back armor, I'm running 9, 9, and 12. I know there are some people out there that really hate back armor, but with the way you squirrel in this thing, you need to have at least some. The quirks of the Phoenix Hawk are structure, so taking a full survivability tree, which I'll show you, is hugely important. So you get your structure bonuses, you get your armor enhancements from your survivability tree, and it is fantastic. So let's show you the skills. So here with the firepower tree, we go down the right hand side and through the middle, hitting the laser duration nodes and cooldown and heat generation. Survival, almost a full survivability tree. The reason I like this is because it really cuts down on the critical hits that we take, because you're running an XL engine. You lose a torso, or you lose your armor on the torso, you need to reduce that critical chance as much as possible. Mobility, full speed tweak. Operations, cool run, improved gyro gives me a little bit of better torso turning speed. And then it takes us all the way to auxiliary, where we have 4 points in auxiliary for 2 artillery strikes. Well, everybody, that wraps this up. I hope you found this enjoyable. I hope you found this educational. I'll make a more advanced tutorial here in the next couple of days. But anyway, thank you for joining me. Hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed what you saw and you'd like to see more. With that, thank you again. Good night.